A 31-year-old reportedly built a $5.8 million porta potty business with 12 trucks and nearly 2,000 toilets. Not software, not AI, portable toilets. He started in 2023 with 1 truck and 100 toilets. And that's the part most people miss. Some of the best cash flow businesses are not beautiful. They are boring, physical, local, and ugly. Grease traps, pallets, parking lot striping, junk removal, porta potties. Nobody talks about them, but customers already pay for them. So today, we're breaking down 7 ugly businesses quietly making real money. What they cost to start, what customers pay, who buys, and the beginner mistake that kills most people early. These are reported numbers and industry ranges, not income promises. And if you want a link to any machine, truck, tool, or equipment in this video, write send URL in the comments. Like, share, and subscribe to Business Dash for more real business ideas.
Business number 1, portable toilet rental. Standard units rent from around $130 to $300 a week on short-term event bookings, but the real value is in long-term placements. Construction sites typically pay around $160 a month per unit, sometimes for the entire length of a multi-month build. That means one signed contract can quietly pay you for half a year without another sales call. Starting with 10 to 20 units typically costs $25,000 to $100,000, depending on whether you buy new or used equipment and what kind of service truck you need. At that smaller scale, a lean, well-run operation can reportedly clear $30,000 to $75,000 a year in net profit. Scale up the unit count and the truck fleet, and you start approaching the kind of numbers from the cold open. The best customers are not weekend party planners. They are construction companies and long-running event venues because they renew automatically and rarely shop around once you're reliable. Farms, road crews, and seasonal festivals can also generate solid recurring volume. The single biggest mistake beginners make is pricing the unit and forgetting the service around it. Cleaning schedules, waste disposal runs, fuel, and labor hours are where the real margin actually lives. Density is the business. The toilet is just the product that justifies the truck showing up.
Business number 2, HVAC maintenance contracts. Forget HVAC installs for a second. Everybody already knows that replacing an AC unit or furnace can pay well. The less obvious opportunity is maintenance contracts, getting customers to pay you proactively before something breaks instead of reactively after it already has. A residential maintenance plan typically runs around $175 to $300 a year, while commercial contracts covering multiple rooftop units in an office building or warehouse typically run $500 to $2,000 per unit annually. Industry sources increasingly point to recurring service agreements becoming one of the most important revenue drivers an HVAC company can build because they smooth out the feast or famine cycle of emergency-only work. A one-time $4,200 compressor replacement pays you exactly once. A signed maintenance agreement on the same building pays automatically every year, without another quote. The best customers are property managers overseeing multiple units or buildings because they tend to renew at high rates. The alternative to a maintenance contract is not no cost. It is a much bigger, much less predictable cost if a major system fails without warning. Restaurants and retail spaces are also strong targets because downtime directly costs them customers. The classic beginner mistake is treating every job as a one-time service call and never converting a satisfied customer into a standing contract.
Business number 3, commercial laundry and linen service. One gym with 300 members needs its towels cleaned every single week without exception. One short-term rental cleaner needs sheets turned around every 2 days between guests. One spa needs towels, robes, and linens replenished every single day it is open. You are not selling a product over and over. You are quietly becoming part of someone's weekly operations. Commercial laundry is commonly priced by the pound, with many services landing around $1.50 to $3 per pound, depending on the area, the volume, and the turnaround speed. That means a single repeat client can become a small weekly route by itself. Do not start by buying commercial washers and dryers. They typically run into the thousands per machine, and that can drain your money before you even prove the demand. Instead, start with pickup and delivery using an existing laundromat's spare capacity and pick one specific niche instead of trying to be laundry for everyone. Best customers are gyms, boutique hotels, and spas with consistent weekly or daily volume because these clients rarely churn once the schedule is set. Warning: direct. The biggest beginner mistake is chasing one-time residential customers instead of locking in 2 or 3 standing commercial contracts that show up on the calendar automatically week after week.
Business number 4, pallet recycling. Here is a business that's almost invisible, and that is exactly the point. Every product you have ever ordered touched a wooden pallet somewhere on its way to you. Most businesses treat used pallets as a nuisance, stacks piling up, taking floor space, and getting in the way. Meanwhile, other businesses keep buying brand new replacement pallets at a markup because nobody has connected the two sides of that equation for them. You collect for a small pickup fee, sort the pallets, repair what can be repaired, and resell the usable ones. 2 income streams off the same truck. The money is not in one pallet. It is in becoming the weekly pickup route for 5 warehouses. Startup costs are some of the lowest on this entire list. If you already have a truck or trailer, basic repair tools, gloves, and a place to sort pallets, you can often get started for under $10,000. Best customers are warehouses and small manufacturers with constant, ongoing pallet turnover. The classic beginner mistake is chasing scattered one-off pickups across town instead of locking down 2 or 3 reliable, repeating suppliers and buyers.
Business number 5, vending machines. Vending gets misunderstood constantly because it is marketed online as passive income. It is not. It is a route business. You are restocking inventory, repairing jammed card readers, tracking what sells, and keeping every host location happy enough to keep your machine there. A used vending machine commonly runs around $1,200 to $3,000. New machines with card readers cost more, but they tend to convert better because fewer customers walk away when they can pay by card. The machine is only half the business. The location is the real asset. A similar machine in a quiet hallway is expensive furniture, but in a warehouse with 200 employees and no food nearby, it becomes a cash flow generator. Find the underserved location first, then choose the machine and product mix to match that location. Skip the old chips and soda playbook. Modern vending can lean into protein snacks, energy drinks, work gloves, bottled coffee, and convenience items people actually need during a shift. The most common beginner mistake is buying the machine first and only afterward looking for somewhere to put it.
Business number 6, junk removal and dumpster rental. Junk removal and dumpster rental both run on the same fuel: urgency. A renovation, a roofing job, a garage cleanout, an apartment turnover. All of them generate debris that somebody needs gone today, not next week, because it is physically blocking the rest of the job. A light junk removal setup with a pickup truck, basic hauling equipment, and local advertising can typically start around $7,500 to $25,000. A heavier roll-off dumpster operation runs higher. Containers alone commonly cost $3,000 to $9,000 each before the truck, insurance, and permits. Small junk removal businesses can become meaningful local operations, but the profit depends heavily on route density, disposal fees, labor, and how well you price the job. Customer pricing can range from small $100 to $200 pickups to $600 to $800 full truck jobs. The money's real, but only if you control dump fees, fuel, and wasted driving time. Best customers are contractors mid-renovation and property managers handling turnovers. This is one of the easiest businesses to win through local search, because when someone searches junk removal near me or same-day junk hauling, it usually means debris is sitting in their driveway right now. The classic beginner mistake is competing on price instead of speed.
Business number 7, parking lot striping. Parking lot striping is about as unglamorous as a business gets. It is literally just painted lines on asphalt. But count the parking lots in any commercial area. Strip malls, churches, schools, dealerships, medical offices. Every one of those lines fades over time, and accessibility markings need to stay visible and compliant. A freshly striped lot is the very first impression a business makes before a single customer walks through the door, which means property managers care about this, even though almost nobody notices it until the lines disappear. Equipment ranges from a few $1,000s to over $10,000 for commercial-grade machines, plus paint and stencils. A small lot might cost a customer only a few $100s to restripe, but a 100-stall lot can typically land around $800 to $1,000 before extras like arrows and accessibility markings. A single afternoon on one larger lot can outpay an entire day chasing smaller jobs. Best customers are strip malls, churches, schools, and dealerships. Most of the work happens nights and weekends when lots sit empty. The classic beginner mistake is cold calling without proof in hand, instead of showing up with a photo of the faded lot already taken.
The businesses on this list all share the same secret. They solve boring problems people already pay for. They are local, they are repetitive, they are urgent, and they are hard for AI to replace. AI can write your ads. It cannot clean a porta potty. It cannot restripe a parking lot at midnight. It cannot haul a dumpster from a roofing job. So before you chase the next shiny idea, ask yourself, is the customer already spending money on this? Does the problem happen again and again? Is the competition slow or bad at marketing? Can you start small before buying expensive equipment? And can you handle the ugly part long enough to win? Because the smartest operators are not chasing new problems. They are finding old problems with old money already attached. Tell me which one of these 7 you want me to break down next. Startup cost, equipment, first customer, everything. This is Business Dash. See you in the next one.